Hi folks, this is Juergen from CSAT again. Today I want to talk a couple minutes on the importance of the agricultural industry, agricultural sector for the US. Economics, very critical. More than $1 trillion per year. These are $1,000 billion per year contribution to the US GDP. 15% of US jobs are either directly or indirectly with allied industries associated with US agriculture. If we have a bad disease outbreak, for example, I mentioned in one of my previous blogs, foot and mouth disease virus, one of the most contagious animal diseases which exists and is still prevalent in some parts of the world. If we will have an outbreak like that, with that agent, we have to sacrifice animals, thousands of them. We have no way to incinerate or dispose of it easy, and we might have the same situation as they had about 7 years ago in the UK, when they had burning pyres of cattle and other livestock on the countryside. You can imagine how that affects tourism, how that affects the people living in that area, not only the farmers, but also the people living in this area. Huge costs on decontamination and disposal. And the public reaction will be not very good. And that will also lead to a loss in consumer confidence in agricultural products, whether it's cattle or pigs. And then we have the other issue that I discuss in another blog is we now know that many new diseases, more than about 70%, more than 2/3 of new diseases which are identified and diagnosed in humans come from animals, either directly from wildlife or via livestock or chicken, domestic poultry into humans, for example, avian flu. And I will discuss that another day, the threat of, we call them zoonotic diseases, which transmit from animal to humans. Back to US agricultural industry. Nowadays, we are now in 2017. Agriculture is not anymore as it was maybe 50 years ago, where you have the mom and pop farms, which have maybe 100 sows or 50 sows to produce piglets, or maybe 100, 150, even big at that time, dairy cows. We now have farms which have more than 50,000 cattle in feedlots. Farms which have more than 5,000, 6,000 cows to milk. They milk 24 hours. And farms which have 20,000, 30,000 sows, which farrow, thousands of piglets produced in a month. And one of the most critical thing I mentioned now at the end, which is a big challenge for us doing infectious disease, is that any day, any work day in this country, 1 million pigs are moved around on trucks, on other vehicles. 1 million pigs from north to south, mainly from North Carolina to Iowa, from Canada to Iowa, pigs to be fed, and the same is true or to abattoirs, slaughterhouses, and about 400,000 cattle are moved around. So you can imagine if there is an infectious, highly contagious disease outbreak and these animals are moved around thousands or hundreds of miles from one spot to the other, what this means in terms of controlling and mitigating an infectious disease outbreaks. These animals go to slaughterhouses, they go to auction markets, they go to fairs, or they go, as I said, to abattoirs. And this is the biggest challenge we face if there is a new disease or an old disease which is known, we call it transboundary animal disease, like foot and mouth disease, African swine fever, classical swine fever, coming to our shores, animals incubating or shedding these agents are transported daily to far corners of this country, and this is happening not only thousands of them, but 1 million pigs and 400,000 cattle. Thank you very much.